we're going to do a bit of a catch-up. We're going to do a speedy catch-up, and we're going to kick it off with A Quiet Place. So this was directed and starring John Krasinski, and his wife Emily Blunt was starring alongside him, which was nice.
I heard a story that she actually originally asked someone else to do the role. Then she's read the script, like, no, you got to cast me as the wife. And she has the overrule there. So.
That is whipped, if ever I heard it. So the premise is we've got these creatures, don't know where they came from, these monsters, but they are very sensitive to sound. So everyone has to be very quiet, and if you make a loud noise, the creatures will come and they will tear you apart. So what were your initial thoughts of this?
Right, so basically I think good to make it clear that John Krasinski is actually the director here. So he's actually very well known for comedy, like the US version of The Office. He's like the main character there. So when you see that he's directing a horror movie, you're like, I wonder how this is going to turn out.
How is this going to go?
Yeah. But after seeing Jordan Peele as a comedian going to Get Out, you're like, okay, fair enough. There could be some, that could be a sign of promise. But this one was great. I mean, simply put, I mean, the way it's done is amazing. I've not seen a movie that's actually that silent. Like, there are scenes where it's literally just dead silence, and it's just really uncomfortable. Even in the theatre. And
you can hear everything that is happening in this theatre.
Every
you
leaf.
can hear like people shuffling in their seats. You can hear the leaves cracking and like their feet walking through the sand.
Every slightest bit of like noise, the film really did well capturing it. And that really built up the tension in the scene. So like, they didn't really rush into showing the aliens too quickly.
Yeah.
Because some movies do have a mistake of just showing the monster early on, but I think this does hold back to about the middle of the way through the film. But even then, I don't think it kills the threat of the alien, because I think the whole scenario of the sound-based chase down is so well done. I think it keeps up that shock factor throughout the movie.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it was really good for them to have you see shots of it, but you don't see it in its full body.
It's like running through the trees or...
Exactly, until you get to the point where I think it comes in the house or something like that. And it does just build the suspense and the tension, and it's really thrilling, and I think the silence is...
golden.
Deafening. I think silence in it is deafening, because you're sitting there going, something's going to happen, something's going to jump out, and I'm going to scream, and I'm going to jump in the middle of the cinema in front of all these people.
And that's a sign that the director's done a good job with it.
Exactly,
I mean, Emily Blunt's character goes through so much in this movie. You
much.
really feel bad for her. Like how much more bad stuff can happen to her. And like the labor scene, which is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling it, it's just so...
Yeah, I know, you're just sitting there going... But apparently she filmed that scene and then just got up and went, what are we having for lunch?
So, I mean, everything was done. I mean, the lead two were amazing. The child actors... they didn't really bother me too much. I mean, the daughter was a bit annoying in a sense, but I think that was the whole point of her. Like, the father had a bit of resentment towards her, obviously, through plot issues, but...
It is. I think it's meant to be a struggle with her to understand her.
Her character was supposed to be a bit annoying, and I think that kind of worked in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
so other than that, are there any other downsides to it?
Downsides, not really too much. I mean, because I think film overall is I think the message of the film, the director John Krasinski mentioned, was what how far parents would go for their kids, and I think especially the main guy's name is also silent. But he does a really good job of portraying the action of how far he would go for his kids. And same with the mother. And the message is great. The action is very visceral in a sense. And hate-wise, I mean, there's nothing I can really say that bothered me too much about it. I mean, I suppose at the end it does get a bit too actiony with like the shotguns coming out. Like, okay, that's a bit... Where did the shotgun come from? I'm supposed to be silent. And also, the whole baby subplot is a bit weird in the sense that the timeline-wise, the baby was conceived during this whole alien apocalypse world. So it's kind of like, how did that... Like,
why would you do that?
Why was that smartest? Like, they didn't really explain how that came.
Yeah, it's funny because they go through all of these like precautions, like laying their entire route to and from their house with sand and all these other like
every possible option is covered.
Every scenario is covered, and he covers everything, and then he's like rewiring her hearing aid and things like that, and he's all of these really intelligent things, but then nope, we're gonna go have a screaming baby.
I mean, and
we're gonna put an oxygen mask on it and put it in a box.
In a box and bury it. But obviously the baby was a plot device for the tension in it, but it
Yeah.
worked well. But that did kind of bang because realize the timeline shows that the kid was like conceived during this whole scenario. Okay. Oh, well.
But I think the fact that throughout the film it was quite like a little bit pulled back, it made the action at the end a bit had more of an impact because the rest of the film is very much lower level.
We're kind of waiting for them to have turned the tables on them because
Exactly.
the whole time they're on the back foot.
Yeah,
So at the
you
end, it's a bit more satisfying when the shotgun does
shotgun
come and there's a
does
shotgun.
come up, because everyone in America has a shotgun. So your sort of couple words review for this one?
I would just say it's a great movie. I mean, that's
great
pretty
movie.
much that's all I can say. I mean, I was gonna make a pun out of it, but it's not a quiet hit. It's doing really well in the box office. So I would say just go watch it. You love
Smash
it.
Okay, I just had a couple of words. I think it's suspenseful, it's thrilling, and a little devastating as well. It's very sad at some points.
Yeah, I mean, there are bits in it. I was like, oh man.
But the other take-home message for this, if you're going to go see it, do not eat in the cinema. I know that so many other critics are coming out and saying, you know, just don't, because
I want to eat my popcorn.
No, it is a silent movie. The only noise is like a little bit of tension music and then some waterfall, and that's it.
Not your sweet popcorn and
You
your
have
nachos.
about 30 seconds of noise in which to eat your food.
When the waterfall shows up,
The waterfall, yeah,
grabbing
exactly.
your mouth.
Okay, so let's move on to the first